Aloha family. So today I wanted to talk to you about our daily routine. Now, last time we talked about curriculum and we talked about the importance of knowing that a curriculum is not the resources that you use. Those are part of your curriculum. It's not what you're teaching, it's how you're teaching and how you're engaging with your kiddos. So the same thing applies for your schedule. Your schedule shouldn't be dictating to you how your day looks. Your schedule's in place to give you a guideline, and I would suggest using that as a fluid guideline. So for me, I am a person that is very structured, that is very meticulous and routine based. But when it comes to homeschool, we do have a pretty set schedule, but I had to learn to relax within that, not allow the boundaries to dictate to me how our day would go, but allow our day to dictate our boundaries, if that makes sense. So first thing I want to do is show you a little bit about what our day looks like. Now, there are many different ways that you could set up your homeschool. There are things called unschooling that you could look into. There are no schedules at all. There are all different ways that you can set up your day. I was a teacher, so I love structure, and so ours looks a little bit more like what a school day would look like. If that's not for you, that's okay. Knowing what works for you and your kiddos is best, so you can figure out a routine that best works for you. So I have our schedule kind of up here on the board, but we don't always follow it exactly. But we start off each day with our morning basket, and I talked to you last time about what that looks like. So 2 days a week they do their fruit folder, and 1 day a week they have a respect journal, and 1 day a week they have a fruit journal, and the other day they do their write the word journal. So they're journaling and they're having quiet time for that half an hour. My older son comes in first thing, he's in 4th grade, and he gets out his agenda, and we have a board, which I showed you a little bit last time, that has everything on it that he is going to be doing, all of his assignments for the day, so he writes it in his agenda. My 2nd grader, that was taking a really long time, so I just have him kind of glance at it and see what we're doing for the day, and I don't have him start writing all those things down yet. I think when the new semester starts in January, I will have him pick a couple things and write it down in his agenda so he can get used to doing that. But I know with him, writing isn't his strong suit. So I don't want to push that. I want to use that writing time for when we have to really write during the day. So it's, again, being flexible with what works with your kids. So the morning basket is great. They come in and they know what to do every single day. We do have it on the daily schedule, so they look up on the board and they know, oh, today's respect journal. And today I have the respect journal questions on the board ready for them when they come in. So the morning basket for us is about a half an hour. They come up around 8:30, and then our morning basket goes until about 9 o'clock. Then we get into something that is like our little morning meeting time. This is where we do our calendar, where we talk about the weather and what our day is going to look like, and then we do some fun facts. I have some books for them on fun facts, and they share some fun facts. We just kind of get started for the day, and then we pray together over our day. And in our curriculum, we are in world history, so usually there's a section of the world that we're focusing on, and so we pray over that section of the world in our morning prayer time. So that's all in our little morning meeting time. Then we get into block 1. So what I've done is I've split the day into 3 blocks, and in between there is a snack time and our lunch time. So the first block is about an hour and a half. Our second block is about an hour and a half, and the third one is about 2 hours. So what I have realized, especially with my boys, is about an hour and a half chunk is about all they can handle. 2 hours, you'll see it's a little different in the afternoon. So I cannot expect my boys to sit still, even for the whole hour and a half. We're not doing one thing for that whole hour and a half, but we have several different things where they're able to move and get the next thing and move on to the next subject. My boys are not able to just sit and power through an hour and a half of like a lecture or something like that. So you have to, again, know your kids and what works for them. So in the morning block, we have our Bible, our history and geography, our science and health, and our math. I like to get those subjects in. First of all, we want to give God our best. So we've already done some time with God first, and then we're talking about the Bible. Of course, we want to put God first in our day, so that's why we do that. But I want to get these core subjects, especially math, in before snack. Math seems to be one of the tedious areas of our day that can stretch out and can take a long time. So I like to do it in the morning when they're fresh and not anxious to get off and do something else, some playtime. So then they have a snack time, and it's about 15 minutes. About 15 minutes, roughly. I'm not strict on that. I kind of keep it to 15-20 minutes. They know it's about 15 minutes, but in the back of my mind, if I need an extra 5 minutes, I let them hang out. They go out of the room for their snack. They go back down into the house and they play outside in the courtyard area, and they get their wiggles out, which is great. Then they come back, and then we have block 2. For us, block 2 is our language arts. This is where we do spelling, handwriting, grammar, vocabulary, and phonics, anything like that that we need to do during that time. Then we have lunch, and then our block 3 is our literature time, which is our read alouds. We have always, every day we have read alouds, a book and some poetry. And then also during this time in the afternoon, they have time to work on their individual projects that they're working on. My older son is in 4th grade, so he's working on a California history project on his own. And so he's been researching things about California. And then he also asked if he could research things about Japan. So I let him. So it's their personal project time. What do they want to work on? What are they excited about? And I allow them to get on the computer during that time. Also, if they'd like to read special books about their subject, they can do that. It's a very flexible kind of time, but it's more individualized to what are they wanting to learn about during that time. And then we end the day from 2 to 3 o'clock is our special time. So Mondays is Music Monday. Tuesday we have art. Wednesday is about nature. So either we'll go for a nature walk, or I allow them time on the computer to research some of the animals that we're learning about in our science program is focusing on animals from around the world. So I'll allow them time to focus on some of that and look up some videos on some animals or habitats and things of that nature. Thursday is robotics, and I purchased some robotics kits off of Amazon, inexpensive. Look for those sales. And then Friday is Free Choice Friday, but we have started to realize within our schedule that I wanted to have time in our schedule to open up Friday afternoons for movies. So we tried to get all of our work, our core work in Monday through Thursday, finish up Friday mornings with our tests. We have a spelling test every week, and about every other week we have a math test, and whatever things we need to finish up Friday morning. And then by lunchtime is my goal. Usually it's not till 1 o'clock, but by lunchtime I plan to have the room cleaned and I was out and ready to have our lunch and watch a movie. Now the movie always has something to do with whatever we've been learning that week, something in our curriculum. So it is a part of our, a part of what we're doing and what we're learning about. So that's exciting. So another thing, then at 3 o'clock, from 3 to 4, they have tactile time with Daddy. What does that mean? So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they have PE. So they'll go for a bike ride, they go to the park, they play sports, whatever it is that Daddy decides they're going to do for PE time. And he does have them do exercises and jumping jacks and push-ups and all those kind of things. Sometimes when it is if it's rainy, which very rarely is it raining here in California, but if it's rainy or if the weather's too bad, we have a Wii, and they can do the exercise things on the Wii, whatever, I don't know what that was. There's a board that you can jump on and do all those kind of things. So they have that. And then after that, they're allowed a half an hour of technology time before we get ready for dinner. So I wanted to briefly show you, let me grab. This is an art curriculum that I picked up through Sunlight's website. And this is Artistic Pursuits. And each lesson is really great because it gives you a lesson on what medium the artist is using, and then it gives you a step-by-step of how to do that and what materials to use. So we've been learning a little bit about watercolor, and they have watercolor crayons and watercolor paper. I didn't know that. So they would draw their picture, they could color with the watercolor crayons, and then they just take a brush and some water and put it over it. Awesome. So we've been learning a lot about what's the different kind of mediums that artists use, some of the different artists that are out there, and all those kind of things. So I recommend this for this age group. I think it's been fun. My older one goes a little further with it and does a little more detail and wants to know more. And my second grader just quickly does whatever. But it just depends on your kid and how much they really like art. For music, I have used a curriculum called Squilt, S-Q-U-I-L-T, and we have, I'll grab them for you, these cards exploring the instruments, and those have been fun. We learned about different instruments in the orchestra, and then we went through each instrument, and they had videos that we could look at, and then woodwinds and all different kinds of instruments, and we learned what each instrument was called and what it sounded like, and we got to hear how it's played and hear it in a big orchestra. And then also we are learning about different composers. They're not as excited about this part, and when we're learning about these composers, on the back it tells you who the composer was, when he lived, what kind of music he composed, and then we look him up on YouTube and get some of the videos of that. They're not as excited about that, but it's been interesting for me, so we still do that. So scheduling, what else can I tell you about scheduling? I love this. I use this every single day, and it has, this is where I keep my Bible, history and geography, science, read alouds, and then I have Gavin's math and language arts, and then Boaz's math and language arts, and it's for the week, Monday through Friday. So the cool thing about that, I don't know if you notice or not, but we work ahead sometimes. They're already working ahead, and so I just check it off as they've done it. And if we get more done, then we have some more free time at the end of the week. I told you my second grader is way ahead in his readers, so it's okay. We're way ahead in some things, and we are okay with that. So we don't stick exactly like you have to do this at this specific time. We just have it as a guideline. So